Oh, yiggity. I guess you already know what time it is. So we got this Democratic Congresswoman who suggests that Black Americans should be exempt from taxes. But she faces skepticism. Is this the solution or is this just a distraction with tether babble? We'll be right back on the Keep It P podcast. Cash App, Zelly, Chime. Hope you got yours, cause I got mine. I'm talking Payoneer, net spin, Venmo, stash. Too many ways for you to run my cash. Check reparations, 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 check reparations. Talking compensation, it's about that time. You get all giggity. And we're back in this joint. You understand what I'm talking about? So let's go ahead and read. Actually, no. I'm sorry, guys. Let's play her words. Because, sometimes they take stuff out of context. Sometimes it's not what it seems. So we're going to give Ms Crockett a chance to say her own say. She appeared on let's share this real quick.
Everyone,
She appeared on this Black Lawyers podcast, and she had some interesting things to say. It looks like this video has 372 views as of a day ago, and it's a wonder how it ended up in this paper already. Look at that. Did you see that? Now you got to ask yourself, why would this podcast that only got 372 views on it a day ago, like not like it just went viral or blew up or anything, why would this catch a news story and be out there? Mighty funny, wouldn't you say so? You know, it's just mighty funny. But anyway, let me hear what she had to say. Hold on, hold on real quick. I want to hear about the reparations. So you know what? I tried to my bad, y'all. I was looking at this other side, and my bad, y'all couldn't even hear me. I was looking at this other side, and I was trying to find out what she had to say. But let me go ahead and read it here, since it's not actually conclusive. It says Representative Jasmine Crockett, Democrat from Texas, recently floated the idea of granting Black American exemption from paying taxes as a form of reparations, although she admits the plan might run into some problems. Man, everything gonna run into some problems. That's your pussyfoot way of saying, look, I'm down, y'all. I said reparation. I said we shouldn't pay taxes. No, honey. We want the money, honey. But you know what, though? I did a little digging. I did a little research, y'all. And guess what? When you look at her Wikipedia, it ain't got nothing to do with where she from, parents, or none of that, right? But so then I did a little bit more digging. I said, what's the last name Crockett? And lo and behold, Crockett is a surname of British origin, which derives from the Middle English word croquette, meaning a large curl, although some are also derived from the French name croquetange. So French, British, Caribbean Bibian. That's what that means, Caribbean Bibian. So
I did not tell y'all on previous episodes that they be looking, smelling, acting, portraying all type of black, but they gotta keep that Caribbean Bibian last name, right? Because that's the separation between them and the Akata, the Yankee niggas. That's the separation. I just want y'all to do that real quick because I had to go in. Let me see who in here because I am live. I'm live, just so you know. You can say something, boo. Hi, F you over there on the Keep It P podcast. I see you over there on Twitter too. But anyway, it goes on to say Crockett appeared on the Black Lawyers podcast last week. It wasn't last week. What you mean? Is this it? Let me see. Is this the clip? No, this ain't the clip because this is the clip of Keith Ellison talking about the same thing. But I clicked on this right here, and it didn't say what she said. It got the whole podcast. Let me see.
Hi, everyone. We're back again with the Black Lawyers podcast. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing the one, the only Representative Jasmine Crockett.
So I think that it's only appropriate you go ahead and you free up some spots. You know, being born with a silver spoon in your mouth should not give you a leg up from somebody who's worked really hard their entire lives to have a spot. So if we're going to open up spots, let's open them up and let's make sure that they're available for everybody. So I appreciate it.
That's a great response. I definitely.
Look, I'm not finna go through this gobbledygook about what she said, but what she said was on the Black Lawyers podcast last week, it recalled a celebrity floating the idea of making Black Americans tax exempt for a certain period of time. And this is what she said. I quote, "I don't know. That's not necessarily a bad idea, but I've had to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is Black folks not having to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket," she added. Listen here, baby girl. You can't tax break slavery away, boo. You can't tax break. That don't work, man. And she's really serious about that. Ain't you a lawyer? Is this our lawyer class? Is this our legal class of defense? This what you passed the bar for, to be making asinine statements like that when you should be finding some legal term to grill and nail them to the fire legally of why they owe? But you talking about some tax exemption? That put money back in your pocket. That sound like something that all tethers can get. That's what you trying to do. It sounds like you trying to all tethers the reparations. All tethers matter. She trying to all tethers matter the reparations claim. It says right after endorsing the idea of giving Black Americans a tax exemption, Crockett began to realize the pitfalls of the plan and know that many poor Black Americans aren't paying taxes to begin with. Duh. If you ain't got no job, you ain't paying taxes, fool. Now, many of us do have jobs. Many of us do pay taxes, but we're currently experiencing taxation without representation because we paying our taxes and the people that's elected to represent us ain't representing us. That's taxation without representation, folks. It goes on to say, and I quote, "If you do the no tax thing for the people that already say struggling," oh, see, trick bag words. First, she used Black people. Just see, she's trying to run the game. First, she used Black people's. Yeah, the idea of giving Black Americans taxes, and notice she used Black Americans. It's all out in the streets right now. We already know. We talking about foundational Black Americans. They can just stop with the BS because we already know what the deal is. But it says, if you do the no tax thing for people who already say struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really, but I think that we first need to do a study. Oh, here we go. It needs to be thoughtful, Crockett says. She cautioned that the possibility of states devising their own plans and call for consistency between federal and state legislation. I can agree with that because ultimately they all owe and they all gonna have to pay. But Crockett says Crockett, a freshman lawmaker, represents a deep blue district in Texas and won 91.5% of the Democratic Party vote on Super Tuesday. And earlier in the interview, she criticized opponents for reparations because they aren't even willing to do the studies, aren't willing to invest to make sure that they can roll this thing out the right way. You ain't doing nothing but talking about studying either. You ain't talking about pushing legislation to get it done. It says to think that America doesn't owe the descendants of slaves is an error. Okay, I like how you specified that. She says San Francisco has considered reparations plans where eligible Black residents aged 18 or older would receive $5 million for a total cost of 175 billion to taxpayers, or 600,000 per household, according to Stanford's nonpartisan Hoover Institute. The plan does not appear to distinguish between Black descendants of slaves and Black Americans who came into this country more recently. It does. It does. And see, news got to get it right. When you're journalists, it does distinguish between that. That's what the whole fight is about over in California. That's why everybody's so mad. They're not even admitting that it has been a distinguish between descendants of slaves and those who came here more recently, who had a choice and knew what they was getting into. But it goes on to say Black lawmakers in California have not put forward over a dozen reparations bill that the state task force produced recommendations to make amends for the history's wrong of slavery. And then here comes good old Evanston. They finna keep throwing this little funky little $25,000 up in here. It says Evanston became the first city to pay reparations in 2021 after the city voted to provide $400,000 to eligible Black households funded by donations and 3% tax recreations on marijuana. That's not true either, because they gave them $25,000. Where's this $400,000 come from? That's how much the average house cost was, and y'all was trying to give them a fraction of that. They're lying a lot in this. I do these stories. Y'all lying. The payment did not cure Black poverty and divided residents as the program ran into bureaucratic issues, because that never happened. Y'all might have wanted to give everybody $400,000, but that didn't happen. They settled on $25,000, and it was supposed to be for house or home repairs or for a down payment. But a down payment on a $400,000 house, man, come on, brother, at 20%, B, that's $80,000, bro. Come on, man. Anyway, that's the end of the article. We didn't even really get to see what she said. It was BS. This was a distraction. They send these tether coons out to dissipate the action. No, ain't nobody talking about no tax deferments, fam. Y'all doing what y'all want to do with our taxes anyway. So it don't even make a difference. Cut the check for Foundation of Black Americans. I'm done with all of this extra rigmarole. What's up with y'all? Keep It P podcast over there, man. Holla at me. Who online with me, man? There's a lot of y'all, man. I'm live. I'm up in here. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all a little bonus too. I scour the internet so you don't have to. Check this out. You know how Black people be like, man, we need to come together, man. We ain't got no unity. Man, other people ain't together either. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't even about that. You know what I mean? Check this out, though. I want you to hear how other Asians talk about other Asians. Okay, I thought this was just funny, just something that I I be looking and I saved this one. But this is y'all you talking about the unity thing and this is what other Asians think about other Asians. They all Asian, right? They all got the same kind of eyes, right? They all got So the black thing. So check this out. Check this out. What they be saying about themselves.
I heard that Taiwanese people are extremely, extremely cheap.
Is that true?
I think that's actually a true one. I would hear that Japanese people are perverts.
They are!
Japanese Americans don't speak Japanese.
But that's true!
My grandpa, back in the day, he's an old Chinese dude, and he like served in the military. He would ask my sisters, "You guys got any friends that are Japanese?" And my sisters were like, "No." He goes, "Good."
Now, what he ain't saying is they also had the same conversation about black people too. But for the sake of this conversation around all his little Asian homeboys, he just threw that out. I found that one really interesting. Anyway.
What?
What does that mean?
Yeah, dude.
It's hardcore though. My Korean friend was having a sleepover. We were all playing, but I couldn't stay. And I had to go home.
Whoa.
And then, Japanese? Yeah, because I was Japanese. And then,
so, did y'all hear that? That's deep. I'll tell you one thing though. Ain't no black parent ever had any child of any other race come over the crib and play with their kids and tell them they can't do something or didn't treat them like, like a kid, like you supposed to. Like that's something we don't do, right? And I want to just point this out, right? Because I ain't never heard my mom or dad like, don't mess with them Africans over there. They ain't like us. They don't talk like us. They eat different food. They ain't never said that. I done had all type of white homeboys when I was a kid. Never. My parents, unfortunately, didn't like really tell me about the racism thing. I had to kind of figure that out in life. And I made sure my kids learned the aspects of racism very early. Actually, racism reared its ugly head on my two girls. Let me give y'all a quick story. So there was this little white girl and this little white boy that lived downstairs from us, and they also would play with my girls and shit. And the little boy was younger than them and used to always try to hit and beat up on them. And they checked him, the little boy, like. And then the white girl, start talking about him bad. And feelings was all hurt. And I had to use it as a teaching method. I'm like, listen, that's white supremacy, basically. Like, you can't, like, they take both sides, right? She's your friend, but she's going to stick up for a little brother. I'm talking about this little girl had called him, like, N-words and all type of stuff in a letter. And then try to be like she was sorry and all that. And I was like, man, see, this is a lesson. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. I'm like, they ain't all like that, but it's a good majority. And so they learned a deep lesson about that type of thing. But there was another video I had too, where the Asian dude was sitting up around the white dudes, just letting them clown him, and he's like, I guess what you want to call like a little Asian cooning, I guess, if that makes sense, because they was talking about like slavery or something like that, and the Asian dude was like, my people ain't never enslaved nobody, and then they pulled it up and they was like, well, China had the longest slavery in history or something like that. It was crazy. But I'll be scouring the internet, just picking out these little things, man. Stay down off your people, man. Like it ain't no group all the way together. Talk about white people. The only thing that unites them is fighting against us. So if we was gone, then they would just be fighting each other like they was back in Europe. They not all together, but they know how to get on code against you, though. That's what they know how to do. So that's what we should learn how to do. Get on code. That's just a little lesson for you. But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna mold you for. You know what? This is what I want to show you too. Hold on. Let me. Y'all know we got like some dope clothes. I don't know if y'all know that. We got dope clothes, man. Over there at Say It With Your Chest. Check this out. By the way, we got t-shirts too, because we know it's about to be summer. Everything you see here comes in a t-shirt, by the way. I would just want to make sure I say that. All of these, I did sweaters because I did this ad when it was winter. So I guess I need to do another one. I need to do another one real quick for the summer. But every one of them shirts is a t-shirt. You dig? And we got the bucket hats, and we got the book bags, got stickers, posters, all that. You can get the one, definitely the one that say cut the check for foundational Black Americans. That's the one that you need, period. But look, I ain't gonna hold you. Let me look you square in the eye since you all up in my vocal vision area, fam. Listen, I got love, I got peace, I got blessings, and I got aloha. But I need you to do this before you go. I almost forgot. Jeez. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Please do that on the platforms that we own, Jones. And just to bring it on home, I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha out the doha for Shoha. You already know. Yiggity. See, I usually say yiggity because that's the way it's shut off so that it be done when I'm done.